The Whirling Wimpus. This story is shared as folklore and personal experience. It is not presented as fact or evidence, but as a piece of Appalachian storytelling passed down through generations. The bewildering bog creature. The earliest whispers of the Whirling Wimpus date back to the early 20th century, emerging from the humid, mosquito-ridden expanses of the Tombigbee National Forest. Loggers and trappers working deep in the wilderness would often report feeling an inexplicable sense of disorientation. The compass would spin wild, one logger recounted in a dusty old county record, and the air, it would get thick, like a buzzing you could feel in your teeth. Then the trees, they'd just melt together. These early accounts often mentioned a peculiar, almost hypnotic feeling, as if the forest itself was turning. People would wander for hours, sometimes days, ending up miles from where they intended to be, with no memory of how they got there. They'd return with stories of strange, high-pitched whirring sounds that seemed to come from all directions at once. The disappearing dogs of Black Creek. A more specific series of eyewitness accounts emerged in the 1960s around the Black Creek wilderness in Mississippi. Hunters frequently reported their dogs, especially smaller breeds, vanishing without a trace. They weren't eaten. There were no struggles, no blood. They simply disappeared while on a scent. One hunter, a veteran named Silas, described an encounter. "My best coonhound, Old Blue, he was on a hot trail. Then he just stopped barking. I went after him, and the air got heavy. My head started swimming, and I felt like I was spinning, even though I was standing still. I saw a shimmer in the air, like heat rising off a road, and heard that whirring sound, louder now, like 1,000 cicadas on steroids. When it stopped, Blue was gone. Gone." Silas claimed to have seen, very briefly, a vague, translucent form, described as like a jellyfish in the air, about the size of a large dog, seemingly radiating the disorienting effect. He also mentioned an odd, sweet smell, like rotten fruit, accompanying the phenomenon. The Campground Confusion, 2000s. More recent encounters, though often dismissed as pranks or misinterpretations, come from hikers and campers. In the early 2000s, a group of teenagers, camping near a swampy area in William B. Bankhead National Forest, described waking up in a completely different part of the forest than where they'd pitched their tents. "It was like we sleepwalked," one teen posted online, "but we were all in our sleeping bags, still inside our tent. It was just moved. And the whole night, we heard this whoosh, whoosh, whoosh sound, like something really big was flying really fast, but you couldn't see it through the trees." They found their campsite miraculously undisturbed, several hundred yards away, tucked into a small clearing they hadn't even noticed when they arrived. The feeling of confusion and a mild headache lingered for the rest of the day. The unseen swirl, the Whirling Wimpus, remains an enigma. Is it a creature with an unusual form of camouflage, capable of generating localized magnetic or sonic fields that cause disorientation? Or is it simply a collective folk explanation for getting hopelessly lost in the dense, confusing terrain of the southern forests? The consistent thread through all these accounts is the feeling of bewilderment, the inexplicable spinning sensation, and that distinctive, pervasive whirring sound that seems to herald its unseen presence.